On October 28, 2017, Conservation Music implemented its first ever community concert in Malialia village of Lesotho. This required the efforts of numerous local musicians and dozens of volunteers. The event was a resounding success, and it forms the backbone of our documentary film, Our Music, Our Environment, which was sponsored in part by National Geographic. The environmental knowledge surveys held in the village both before and during the event were also successful, and we've already learned that 70% of those who attended that day learned something new, and that 95% of those intend to act on that environmental knowledge. We cannot wait to share the finished film and the results of the survey in 2018. Throughout production of Our Music, Our Environment, and into the month of November, we were also pleased to work with GIZ, or the German Society for International Collaboration. We worked on a campaign with them to inspire Badisana, the herd boys of Lesotho, to better steward the land by always herding their animals in tight groups to prevent things like erosion and the loss of fertile grassland to shrubs. We were honored to communicate the message of a large NGO through our method, and we look forward to future collaborations like these. It wasn't long before we found ourselves back on the road, transecting all of the north of Lesotho to cross the border at Sani Pass. By the time we arrived at this high-altitude frontier, the weather was cold, windy, and pouring down rain. We had our doubts about our first 4x4 trip down the mountain, but somehow, as soon as our tires left the pavement, the weather cleared and we were greeted by a warm rainbow and an incredible cloud-filled valley. Once the clouds rose up to meet us, we spent the next several hours driving through darkness and fog to get to Durban. We loved meeting our hosts and enjoying the paintings at Awe Backpackers. We hit the road for Coffee Bay, where we stayed with a fellow musician named Mark, who was an incredible host. We ended up performing a gig with Mark just down the road. From there we stayed with friends in Port Elizabeth, camped out with Sunfire Solutions in Knysna, and stopped through Wilderness to visit our friend en route to our final destination, Cape Town. The mother city treated us well, visiting old friends and making new ones, and enjoying some hard-earned downtime. Amongst all of this were meetings with folks at African Bush Camps Foundation, Explore for Knowledge, Project 7 Management, and many more, as we gear up to launch next year's expedition from the mother city herself, Cape Town to Kilimanjaro. Unfortunately, time in Cape Town was short, with an incredible music conference in Mozambique looming ahead of us. To make it to MMM on time, we needed to drive 24 hours directly from Cape Town to Swaziland. After a full day exploring the mountains, the Karoo, and the Free State by car, we drove directly into a severe thunderstorm just in time for sunset. We recovered from our journey for a couple of days before we set out for the border with Mozambique. It was incredible to witness the change in the landscape, not to mention the change in the language, as we dropped down from the mountains to the coastal city of Maputo. There we settled in with our friends Mike and Mate in anticipation of a musical collaboration with the trainees at Mike's Chili Farm, Peri-Urban Academy, locally known as Peri-Urbana Agri Academia. The song we whipped up focused on the need to empower young women to lead strong and independent lifestyles as an incredibly important step if there is to be any kind of sustainable development or conservation. The young women at Peri-Urbana are learning conservation agriculture techniques and many other transferable skills, and we were proud to present their hard work at the Mozambique Music Meeting Conference. MMM was an incredibly well put together event showcasing Mozambican music to music industry executives from all over the world. We had a blast enjoying the music and getting to know some of the incredible delegates, and we're excited to see where life takes us as our musical family grows around the world. Now, with a brief stop in Swazi and Jozi before we set out, it's time to head home for the holidays. We want to thank you so much for the support that you've shown us in this crucial year for conservation music. And if you haven't joined us yet, you can donate using any of the links below. Conservation Music is a small and growing nonprofit, and these donations form the backbone of our programming. If you are based in the United States, your online donations will be tax deductible. If you're based in Southern Africa, please contact us regarding tax-deductible donations. We've got a full plate before we come back to the African continent, so stay tuned for our documentary teaser, more media from this year, and our digital launch of next year's Cape Town to Kilimanjaro expedition, which launches in March of 2018. Have a wonderful holiday season, and we'll see you next time with many new faces from all over Southern Africa on the Conservation Music web series, On the Beating Path.